Okay, so scene opens on a rugged mountain road at dawn. Eagles screech overhead. This is not on the script, but overhead of not an American car, we'll mention. A silver, italicized, silver 2007 Toyota RAV4 bursts through a cloud of dust in slow motion. Can you picture it?
Yeah.
Is this something you've done in your 07 RAV?
Every day.
Every single day. Voiceover.
Oh, no, that's Mary's part.
Oh, I'm doing the voiceover?
So I just set the scene.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
said
the
we.
set goes beautiful. Voiceover. Deep, dramatic. Okay. In a world where reliability rules, where gas prices soar,
That's so lame.
and cup holders matter more than ever, one compact SUV dares to go the distance again and again and again.
Ridiculous.
I like that you did like a Southern Gone with the Wind kind of voice.
It's a deep and dramatic.
And then it says, cut to a mom juggling groceries and 3 kids. The RAV4's trunk opens like it was summoned by the gods themselves. We thought it would be funny to have Carish be sponsored by the official car of Carish, which is a 2007 RAV4. The majority of the people in this room own a 2007 RAV4. Half of them.
One of them's off camera, for the record.
Yeah, true.
And ChatGPT came up with the most unhinged, serious ad. Whether you're conquering carpool chaos or scaling Mount Definitely Not Photoshopped, the 2007 Toyota RAV4 is your chariot of choice. And then, listen to this, Mary, if you wouldn't mind. Cut to a mechanic nodding solemnly.
This baby will outlive us all. Why did I make the mechanic a man? Hold on. This baby will outlive us all.
But clearly
Ooh.
the mechanic is Southern, regardless.
I don't know. I feel like
They must be Southern.
they gotta be Southern.
They gotta be.
I could have done like New York. This baby outlive us all.
Yeah, and it'd be like my cousin Vinny.
Like, yes, like that.
Uh-huh.
Can you do your Soviet accent really quick?
This baby will outlive us all.
And on that note, welcome to Carish. So Case and I are the car.
I'm the ish.
That's right. This is the podcast vaguely about cars, but mostly about
Chaos.
chaos. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mary. But we thought it would be funny because clearly we are such experts. We are going to discuss the state of new cars and more specifically, the things they are missing and the things they should be missing.
And single-handedly fix the car industry with this one podcast episode.
I think we will.
To an audience of tens of people.
At least.
If you are Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, listening to this, Mary Barra, you should all be tuning in because these are some... Genuinely, I thought that was going to be goofy, but we have some very good ideas as to what to put in new cars. And Mary is going to go first.
Revolutionary.
So give us your first one, and then we're going to go around round robin style.
Oh, okay. I love it. Kind of
Yes.
like popcorn style.
Popcorn.
Okay. So what I wish they had.
Yes.
Okay. So my first one is different sounds for different honks. So you know how like it's kind of like if you're like kind of nervous that somebody's gonna hit you, kind of want like a meep meep, I'm right here. That's the sound. That's the honk that I want to deliver more often than not. I want another one that kind of means like, excuse me, what the hell? That one's kind of more like a.
I like how Mary's about to get hurt. She's about to get hit, and her honk choice is meep meep. Ha!
Excuse me. They're right behind you. And the other one that I thought would be cute to have is like a, hey, person walking by, pedestrian, I know who you are. It's me in this car. That's like, hey, it's me. So that one would be like a whoop, whoop. And then you turn and be like, Tommy.
I'm so excited to get to tell you this.
Same idea?
There is a car.
What is it?
So there's a car called the Ineos Grenadier.
Oh, that's like a new boy.
Yeah, it's like the new square
The
chunky
square
off-roader.
guy, yeah.
Look at that.
It's got a horn. It's got a special horn that says
It
toot.
says toot. I love that. Okay, so now all we have to do is mark it down from $94,000 and make it available in all cars.
And put it in everything. Mary, you are exactly right. This is such a fantastic idea because in the age of texting, we're all sitting behind someone who doesn't go at the red light.
Yes,
the
exactly.
green light, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the idea with the toot horn. It was originally for bicyclists, but really it's useful for the red light or the green light sitters because the full on it's a little much, but the little toot.
Well, and that is achievable with like the horn that we have now, right? Like you can just like lightly tap it, and it kind of works. Like it's like clear that you're not
Depends on the
angry,
car, yeah.
right? Like
Sometimes it
it's kind
just
of
doesn't.
it's not delivering the rage that it could, but it takes a lot of focus and a lot of control.
Am I mistaken in thinking actually the Chevy Volt, I want to say that it had a very light horn as well, and that you could get very inexpensively. You
Yes.
you just might not
But
like
the
it.
difference is, like, you don't want one that's too aggressive.
Yeah.
You don't want one that's too nice. Because if you're about to get hit and the only sound that you have is like a...
Well, it's got both.
Oh, okay, good.
It had like the Grenadier.
Okay,
That's
good.
right. So the Volt in the early days of electric cars, people were really worried about running down hearing impaired folks in the parking garages and stuff. So the Volt has this little button. I think it's on the stock.
Yeah, I think
right?
so
It's like
too.
No.
I don't remember it sounding like that, Tommy, to be honest.
The car moans a little bit.
okay, really bad example, but it did have like a little electronic, like a buzzer. But
Yeah.
I think this should be mandatory
I think
in
so, too.
every car. This is a fantastic idea. And I think that it would be really funny if the different horns were representative of your emotions. So like there's a toot horn, there's a little button, and then for the pissed off one, it's a plunger.
Yeah.
You just,
Yeah, that's
you know,
pretty
you
good.
bang down on it.
Yeah, I think that's good. So I recognize it's maybe not an original idea, but I do think it needs to be a
No,
widespread.
I like it.
And
Yeah.
a lot of old British cars, this is the most British thing I've ever heard. They had two horns as well, but there was a switch that you go from town and country.
Ooh, is it louder in the country?
It is.
Yeah.
So you've got like your polite town horn and that's a good
That
idea.
is a good idea.
It's very thoughtful.
My least favorite thing on the planet. So if this company becomes a sponsor, then I'm sure I'll change my tune. But the companies that sell the train horns in cars, have you ever experienced that?
I don't think so.
It's an air horn that you
Yeah.
can fit underneath like a big lifted truck, and it's from a train. So it scares the crud out of everybody.
Yikes, that feels illegal.
I think it might be, but it's that happened to me at Easter Jeep. We were all having a nice dinner, and this Gladiator
Just like-
came by and went, "Oh!" and everybody was like,
Oh my
everyone
God.
jumped. It was
Did
scary.
you ever ask truckers to like honk their horn at you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to bring horns back
I
up on
think
a
so
string.
too. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Imagine Mary cruising in her 07 RAV4, pulling the trucker string.
If you have a horn on a string, it's got to be an air horn.
Are you a two-finger
That's true.
puller on the horn string?
Oh dear.
I'm not sure I've ever had the chance to test the theory.
Well, you held up two fingers. See, I do the accordion with my hand. I do the.
Oh, geez, that's bad.
Tommy, stop using
Stop
your
it.
hand like
Yeah.
Now that we have,
I don't think it matters how you grab the string.
now that we've gone off the rails, I'm going to give you mine.
Yeah.
And genuinely, folks, I might patent this because I think it's this brilliant.
I'm excited.
When I was a little kid, I had a friend who was actually a bully. His name was Nick, and he made me feel very bad and created some emotional damage. But the most interesting thing about Nick, other than the emotional damage he created when I was 7, the same reason I have a hard time using urinals nowadays, is the fact that he had glasses, normal glasses that would transition to sunglasses.
You got bullied by someone with transition
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
eyeglasses?
You should have flipped that
That's
script
nuts,
real
dude.
quick.
Yeah.
We might need to edit that part out here, Cole. Yeah, that's not great. But clear normal glasses that transition. Admittedly, very nerdy.
Yeah.
That's all my grandpa
Yeah.
wore. But I was driving around in my old car the other day. It has really dark tint. Really great in the daytime, look like a mobster. And then at night, I can't see anything out that. Why don't windows come built in with transitions?
That's actually really smart.
And there are some engineers that listen to this podcast, believe it or not. Our buddy Sam listens to this podcast every week. He's an automotive engineer. He will tell me why, and it's going to
Yeah.
be something blindingly obvious.
Sure.
But from where I'm sitting, doesn't that seem like a
Yeah,
really good
because
idea?
There's motorcycle helmet visors that do that.
Do they really?
Do you think it would just be
They're
like
very expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's a money
You
thing.
think it's a money thing?
It has
it's
to be a
expensive.
money thing.
Because we have seen like those cars that have the sunroofs where you push the button and it goes like
Yeah,
opaque.
yeah.
Also really expensive.
Also expensive.
The
but
Buzz had that.
What that did, you're right. But what's amazing about the sunglass transition lenses is like there's no electronics or buttons or anything.
Just does it.
I think that would be such a cool thing.
Would you have it in the windshield in addition to all of the windows
can't.
and the back? You can't have it in the windshield.
There's like specific rules about tints and windshields. Yeah. But ideally, it would be. I mean, there's no disadvantage to having it if it goes clear at
your
night.
side windows,
yeah,
too.
put it in every window. I think that's a really.
I think that's smart.
Yeah, thank you. I was
Yeah.
proud of that one.
Yeah. I'm
pretty
sorry
good.
about Nick.
Yeah, Nick was a bummer.
Yeah.
I was not a cool kid, guys. I was bullied by the kid with transition glasses.
That's
and
tough.
Did you also have transition glasses?
No, I didn't. I had normal glasses. Yeah. And the kid was shorter than me and had a nasty lisp.
I got bullied by a short kid who played violin. He was really funny though and really good at Foursquare.
Oh, so he made up for
so-
it.
He was an athlete.
He made up for it in
Yeah,
droves.
so he got people on his side.
Being good at Foursquare in elementary school.
I mean, you're holding all the cards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
You're on top. You're on the top
I
of the
was
game.
Really an uphill battle.
Was his
Yeah,
name
it
also
tough.
Nick?
No, Andrew.
Dang.
I think we should bring that back. The
Bullies?
No.
Foursquare?
back-
Foursquare. The head of every company
game.
is decided by, and every state and country is decided by who's best at
game of
Foursquare.
It's like the modern duel. I
Yeah.
challenge you to Foursquare, but you need other people. So
You
See,
need
I-
at least 4.
yeah,
Yeah.
at least. Any more than that,
Yeah. You're in soccer territory.
So I would say presidential elections, start with the Foursquare, then go to tetherball for the top 2.
Oh, tetherball's terrifying.
Really?
Did you play tetherball with glasses on?
I did. Not very well.
Well, that's okay.
I love tetherball. Okay, Case.
so anyway,
What's your
Wow,
what's
what a
your-
transition.
Your invention.
yeah, this is something that has existed in cars and could again. There's even some premium cars that are smart enough to do it. Analog gauges instead of a screen in front of you, going back to needles, but you can do it in such a way that it looks nice. It doesn't have to look crummy and old school. I
Like
think
a
there's-
Rolex, like a cool watch.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
a nicely made mechanical thing for a high-end car, rather than like the Mercedes Hyperscreen thing, where instead of designing an interior, you just
Slap a
make
screen.
an IMAX
Yeah.
screen the entire
That's a really
car's
good
dash.
point.
Yeah, but okay, I agree with you 1,000%. And we're actually seeing in like the super high-end cars, like the
Yeah.
new Bugattis, like $1 million stuff, they're going back to mechanical gauges
Which is sweet.
because of the watch thing. Mary's exactly right.
Look, my boyfriend just got me a new watch.
Wow, mechanical.
Huh? Isn't
Very
it pretty?
nice.
You know how cool you look in a mechanical watch compared to Apple Watch?
So much
Case is
cooler.
hiding his Apple Watch.
So much cooler.
No, but here's the thing. This is the problem. What we're demonstrating here is a problem with mechanical watches and mechanical gauges, is that with an electronic one, there's so much more you can show, right? You're kind of locked into 4 dials or whatever on your gauge cluster. But if you have screens, you can show navigation and audio and everything.
I don't think he's saying eliminate screens altogether.
Yeah, because
I'm just
you
saying
have to
bring
have
back
a
the
screen.
mechanical.
So you want like a
Yeah.
little one in
Yeah.
the middle.
Gauges.
Well, yeah, because every car is required to have a backup camera, so you have to have some amount of.
Except for
a
our
screen.
sponsor, the 2007 RAV4.
Yeah, every car made today is going to have a backup camera. And you look at the Ineos Grenadier. Once again, it's only got the center screen and then just a panel with dummy lights in front of the driver. So you can get away with having some of that information on the center screen, but instead of that stupid panel that the Grenadier's got in front of the
So what do you want?
Steering
What do you want to be mechanical? Which gauges?
tack, speedo, fuel, temp, that kind of stuff.
Do you want it to be plastic or
basics.
metal? Because I feel like I've seen some
depends
pretty
on the car.
cheap gauges.
What about the
Oh, yeah.
speedometer?
There's been some bad
RPM?
ones. Yeah.
Those two.
Exactly. So those kind of things, the essentials, and it depends on the car. If it's a high-end car, like what you were talking about, that some companies are doing, then make some high-end gauges. But even on a less expensive car, you can do some.
That's a good take.
And I would
Some gauges.
I would take this further. Cole, look up on YouTube Citroën CX gauges.
Citroën.
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 Oh, mais oui. So we all think that gauges have to be little needles, right? But there have been some incredibly crazy gauges. Like if we click on this little video, hopefully this will show what I'm trying to show. This is from a car called the Citroën CX. This is a YouTube channel. Watch what happens with these gauges.
I
Those look
this
like
already.
elevator doors.
They do look like elevator doors. And as you accelerate, you can see that they actually rotate. So they're
Interesting.
barrels.
So it's horizontal.
Yeah, and then
Incredible.
the one on the left, the speedometer, I think actually goes the other way. It goes like up and down. So there's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with needles.
There was was it not a Blazer? Trying to think. There was a Chevy back in the day that had some like smaller kind of barrel.
The tumblers.
Yeah, the little tumbler.
So I like that.
Gauges.
I think we should bring creativity back.
Although I would say sometimes I say, you know what they say, if it ain't broke, break it. Like if it works, why are we like redesigning it?
Well, that's a good point, Mary. So the argument here is, so look at that. Look at the speed.
He's going a little too fast.
Well, it's kilometers an hour.
Still. It's still like 90.
Yeah, he's really moving. So Mary's saying, bring back the gauges, but don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like you can make it look good, design it. Don't just be like, here's a monkey tonk bunk. I don't know what I'm saying. Make it look good, but don't. I don't know. This
You
is
don't
cool.
like that.
I think it's just a little bit too like. Why do we need it that way?
Well, I mean,
it's fun.
I think the same way about a lot of like men's watches,
Yeah.
where you look at it, I'm like, there's so much going on here. I can't.
Where's
tell
your
the
watch?
time. I left it at home.
The Swatch.
My Swatch. Very boring taste in watches. But yeah, like there's like some crazy ones that have different chronometers and
Some of them you can see
Chronometer.
like the time in every place. In,
too
like
much.
every time zone.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of like this, where you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on, folks.
That's what I like, a simple watch. Just like tell me the time and tell me what the second is.
Yeah, and there's ways to make simple elegant. Like our old Mercedes, our 70s Mercedes that we have beautiful gauges. They're very pretty.
Bring back beautiful gauges.
It's a really good take.
What you got, Mary? What's next?
Okay, my next one is okay. Maybe I'm stupid and I don't understand design, but why do blind spots still exist? What's up with B pillars?
just get rid of the pillars.
Like I understand that it's necessary for the structural integrity of the car, whatever. But like at this point, it feels like you should be able to see. Like, why does the mirror not allow you? And I know you can get wide-angled mirrors and stuff like that, but why is it just not naturally like visible? If cars have been around for this long,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a good
I agree.
point.
and
This
like
is fun.
there's the blind spot monitors,
Well, yeah.
but
yeah.
you can't see it. You just know that something's there.
Yeah. Yeah, because like when I'm driving around in my truck and it's got the little convex mirror in the corner, I can actually see the side of my truck and I can see anything next to me. But when I'm in the Fiat, I had the other day, I had a whole Honda Accord. I knew it was there because I watched it come up alongside
you
me.
hit
But you
it.
couldn't see it.
Because I ran into it. But yeah, I was looking and I could neither see it out of my window nor in my mirror. And I thought, how
God
does this-
forbid you have to.
how does this tiny car have a blind spot that can fit a car twice its size?
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is you want to have thick pillars, thicker than the Roman Empire, because that didn't prevent collapse, which is why your car has such thick pillars, so that when you roll it over...
What?
I think Tommy's referring to like Greek architecture.
Do you know Greek architecture?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Roman architecture.
It's
There's
Roman.
there's a difference.
But when you roll...
You're talking about like columns.
If
Yeah.
you're driving,
Yeah.
if you're driving the city of Rome and you flip it over, you're gonna get squished because
Do you
those
want to
columns
make a
aren't
car
thick
out
enough.
of
You
marble?
have any idea how tiny the streets are in Rome? You can't flip a car in Rome.
I've not thought about this at all. My point is, you need those chunky pillars so that the roof doesn't collapse.
Well, that's what I said. I understand it's important for the structural integrity of the car.
You just want to move them.
But I just think that we need to figure, or the mirrors, maybe like figure out how mirrors can help you see around the actual edge of the car.
Big truck mirrors on your 2007 RAV4. That's
I'm
an idea.
down for that.
You know, like
Toyota.
I'm gonna stand up here for a sec, but you know this design,
Yeah,
the buses that are like.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nick he was onto something, I think. I'm sorry.
Oh God, that's what we need to bring back.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good point. Like Hyundai did a really cool thing for a long time. So you had the electronic gauges. When you turned on your left turn signal, the left gauge would turn into a camera.
Yeah, I've seen that
You've seen
before.
that before? So
But again,
nice.
that throws me off because then I'm like, what is that? What am I looking at? And I understand that it's like, if it's my left blinker, that's the left side that I can't see. But my thing is, why have we not created something like a mirror that isn't a camera or something technologically that can falter to see right there?
I imagine with the camera mirror, Mary's driving along, 70 miles an hour on the highway, goes left turn signal, camera comes on. She's like, huh, pulls out some reading glasses, zooms in with her face.
Well, it's kind of overwhelming though, because it's just like super fast, like everything's moving, so it doesn't just look like you know, in a mirror, it's kind of more of a GoPro angle. Everything's steady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas a camera is like everything's moving.
So you're gonna hate this, but in Europe and in Asian countries, a lot of cars now are replacing the side mirrors with cameras and the screens.
I don't like that.
And everybody hates them apparently.
Yeah,
They're
luckily,
illegal here.
You can't do it here.
Yeah,
so.
but they're really not good.
Well, my other thing is, what about bigger mirrors?
Yeah.
Big truck mirrors.
So that's what I'm talking about. So there's like a camera on the inside, and then there's like a screen instead of the mirror. This apparently doesn't work at all in the night and the rain. The problem, Mary, mirrors are nerdy like me. They got big ears, right? You don't want a car with big ears.
No, I get that.
And then they're pretty unaerodynamic. But you're onto something. A lot of old cars don't have the middle pillar.
Really?
Yeah. Those pillarless coupes, you'll die if you roll it over. But looks good. Or how about a
Worthwhile
convertible?
sacrifice.
Yeah, for sure.
What about a convertible?
Convertibles fix the problem.
There you go.
Okay, so everybody, to be safer,
Everybody.
we should get convertibles.
I think the safest thing for Mary is a CJ2.
That's right. An old army Jeep that has nothing around you.
Does
Yeah.
it come with the helmet?
There you go.
It could.
Yeah.
For the right price.
No, I think Mary's right that I hate to admit it, that we just need better visibility.
Yeah.
And old cars have really thin columns. And it seems like we have the technology now with modern metals to have thin columns that don't fall
and still
over.
have it be strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's not limited to the B pillar either. Like I noticed the other day in the Leaf, there's like this is that the A pillar? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And and then there's another one that goes up on the other side, and then there's like a little triangular window
Yes.
down there, and I'm like,
Split.
is that just to make me feel like there's more visibility, or I can't actually look out that little space? But I was noticing it because there was like somebody, it was at an intersection, and I couldn't see catty corner because of that pillar.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I think that, new cars
all
are
I'm
the
saying.
visibility thing, and it don't even get us started on like windows out of trucks when the front end is like 4 feet tall and you can't see what's in front of you at all.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah, when your blind spot's in front of you, you have a bigger problem.
So the next technology improvement, Mary's case is all good. Mine is going to take a little bit of convincing. So driving along in the car with someone, and they're like, I'm a little cold, right? And then you go to your automatic climate control. It's at 68. Do you go to 70? Do you go to 72? Like, how much do I have to change the temperature for them to be satisfied? I want my climate control to have 4 buttons, and that's it. You got hotter, colder, little hotter, and little colder. And you push the button, it says hotter, and makes it hotter. You push the button that says a little hotter, makes it a little hotter.
Well, actually,
That's all you need.
Actually, the cool thing about that idea is that both in theory and in practice, it doesn't work. You know?
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way he's about to say something nice right
So
now.
you're going to say something snarky, like we'll just get a car that has like the blue and the red lines, right?
Sure.
Where there's a knob. No, because it's too vague.
It's
Tommy,
Too co-
what? Define vague for me right now. You
But
know
it
what it
is.
is? It's not specific. Hold on, if I say, can you make it a little hotter? You're
I'll
like,
push the little hotter button.
that's super vague.
That is accomplishing what you want.
Not
That's
necessarily.
such a bad idea.
It's like anti-preference. It's like, so what does because you know what? Somebody's gonna have to program that. Somebody's gonna have to engineer that. So that means that there's a specific temperature that will happen if you press a little hotter.
I would argue temperature is a made-up construct.
Oh my God.
The fact that
it's measurable for one.
Yeah, but is it really? Because everybody's 60.
It literally is.
No, it's not. Everybody's 68 degrees feels different. So why do I care if it's 68 or 70? I just want it a little hotter or a little colder. So I push the button, and then the car just makes it hotter.
What
Well,
if-
if your critique of the blue and red slider is that it's too vague,
It's too vague. I don't
then
know what
why
red
not
means.
have?
But you know what a little hotter means?
Yeah, right. Why not have the actual temperature like every car now?
Mary, have you ever been like walking down the street with your friend and be like, it's a little red today? No, because you don't know what a little red means. But if they say it's a little hot,
Yeah.
you both agree.
That's such a good point. So you want a colloquial car. You want a car that like doesn't have to adhere to actual mathematic and scientific standards. You just want a car.
You must really struggle
Dude.
with like sinks and showers.
You ever like sinks and
Tommy looks
showers?
like the blue and red. He's like, I don't know,
I don't
dude.
get it.
Don't even get me
Too
started on the
vague.
garden hose when you got to twist that a certain amount. I just think, guys, that like you ever been driving around and it's cold outside. It's like 35 degrees outside,
For
right?
sure.
But you got all the UV radiation coming in and your car's set at 70, but you're still you're too hot because you're getting warmed up from all the UV. You just want to make it a little colder. Then you turn it down to 60. Turns on the AC
okay, I
even
have
though
a
it's cold
question,
outside.
though. What's the difference between like 2 notches down? than pushing a
But
button.
what's a notch?
A notch is a degree, Tommy.
I don't want a degree. I just want it to be hotter or colder.
Guess what happens? Oh, this is exciting for me. You're going to learn something.
What?
Guess what happens when you turn a knob down?
What?
It gets colder.
I know, but then you got to turn the knob down and the fan up.
it's the same
I don't
thing, 'cause
want that BS.
One notch on the dial or the slider is the same as one press.
Right,
Of
exactly.
your
So
vague
That's what
button.
I'm talking about, the programming. It'd
So-
be the same thing.
so-
It is
we're-
one unit of warming or cooling.
We're driving along in your truck, right? And I'm saying, Case, I'm a little hot, right? Too much. It's too much.
That is the direction you spin it.
Okay, it's too much
Okay,
hot.
so then you do it a little, like one up. Here's my problem, Tommy.
Maybe.
What if you're little, like hey, I want it a little cooler, so you press that button, and then it's wrong. There's nowhere to go from there.
Well,
It's
then
a
you
little
push-
cooler or back to where you were.
You push colder.
No, you want it a little warmer than a little cooler. Then what?
All right, scrap this whole idea. You're right. This is terrible. It
Yeah.
doesn't work at all. You guys have ruined it. It's supposed to be simple.
We've ruined it with logic. God forbid.
If
I
you-
just want a random number generator where you push a little colder and it gets some amount colder. And it changes. Because that's
Yeah.
all that temperature is. It's just changed.
Just a random wheel.
If you're cruising down the road and you find yourself too warm and you want to cool things off, you might like my next.
Oh, the good transition case.
Good
It's very
transition.
good. Much better than Tommy's last transition, which was awkward
He's doing
and
his
weird.
best. Give him a break.
Nick was right all along.
Once again, something that used to exist on cars, and it's something that we all miss. You might even know what I'm getting at here.
What?
The little corner windows.
Ashtrays. Oh.
Oh, what? Have you ever smoked a cigarette in your life?
No.
Tommy's like, bring back ashtrays. Are you
Yeah.
talking about like the one like in the Stang that you can
Yeah,
buy?
the
Yes.
little corner windows. Or my old Mercedes, I don't know about yours, there's also a little lever on the dash where you can just have the vents bring in air that's coming as you
God.
drive down the road.
That's the same as my button. It's a little colder.
It's
It's
not.
literally the
You're just-
same crap.
Bringing in fresh air.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're using nature.
Yeah, you can bring in fresh air without having to have all your windows down because the buffeting can get to be a little much. New cars don't have that.
The
And it's
quarter
pretty
windows,
nice.
though, the quarter windows were meant primarily for smokers.
Yeah, but when they're also nice if you just want a little bit of airflow coming in.
Yes, you're right.
Tommy, your idea is so
it's
bad.
the same
it's
crap
it's
case.
different.
I'm using technology instead of old windows.
which makes it worse.
What do you think of this idea of the quarter windows? You like that idea?
I think they're cool.
They're cool.
Yeah, I think they're helpful, and they just look cool. But I like that idea.
I'd also like to point out, Mary and I are innovating over here with new ideas. You're just bringing back old ideas.
That's fair.
Well, one way that you could make it new is you could have a button in your climate controls to say just the air outside, don't condition it at all. Just bring it in. Because
Bring it in.
Realistically,
Bring it in.
Send them in.
I feel like there's not like a good way to do that because it's either heating it or your AC's on and it's cooling it. And sometimes it's like, well, it's perfect outside. Just bring. Same thing on a house. Sometimes it's nice and cool outside. It's like we don't need to kick on the AC.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Right?
I understand.
Case has just invented the opening hole.
Case is like air.
Yeah, just
Hear me out.
Mic
Air.
drop.
like the air's outside is good. Why are we conditioning the air in here?
Because sometimes the air outside is bad.
Why don't we take
yeah,
the air
and-
and move it somewhere else?
We still have a solution for when the air outside is bad.
You'll condition it.
Anyway, my idea is perfect. Moving on to Mary's next idea.
Okay.
Way better than Tommy's.
My next idea is for people who are not car people. And so you know how like in the owner's manual you can flip to the page and it tells you what all the symbols mean? I wish that there was a way that a car could be programmed to where it just like tells you what's wrong. Like your engine is about to explode. And it's just like it's in those like little words on the bottom. Instead of like a flashing engine. That doesn't look like an engine.
But
vague.
how specific do you want it? Do you like,
you left the hatch open, stupid.
okay,
Like-
you want it to be mildly insulting?
Yeah.
But like, so
Like
there's
Jarvis
there's
from
an
Iron
engine
Man.
issue, right?
Yeah.
Do you want it to be like, there's a P3025 code on the left O2 sensor?
What do you think?
Okay, you just want it to know engine broken.
Go see a mechanic.
It should tell you how much it's going to cost to fix.
Yeah. It's looking like a $4,000 engine repair. You're like,
You may want to lead me to the repo man.
you're like, give me the symbol back. I didn't want to know.
That actually a good idea though. So and in the 1980s, this was actually like a big thing. There was actually a car that would talk to you So if you remember this, the K cars, you weren't around then, but the K cars from the 1980s, like a LeBaron, if you left the door open, it would trigger a little voice under the dashboard, and it would say, "The door is ajar." I'm serious.
It's not a jar, it's a door.
Nissans also would do that, and I think the talking is dumb, but maybe like a little screen, just like. Mary, they kind of do that already, don't they?
I'd be okay with it talking.
No, because they still give like if your washer fluid's low, right? You might see that and be like, an umbrella. I don't know. Kind of looks like a little umbrella that's broken and upside down.
Yeah.
So they just be like, fill your washer fluid.
I think
Or just like washer fluid, washer fluid.
some
washer fluid.
cars do. Like that 98 Mercedes will tell you like left headlight out, washer fluid low.
With words?
Yeah, it spells it out. But not all cars. So you want it to be like a standard.
I just think it would be helpful so that you're not like digging through your owner's manual, like waiting with anticipation about what's wrong with your car. That's happened to me so many times.
Yeah. Okay.
know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You might be onto something.
Or like like how tire pressure is like an exclamation point inside parentheses.
Do you know what those are?
Tires with a surprise tire.
Well, like when your tire gets flat, it starts to squish on the sides.
Yeah, sure. That's what I said.
Okay. A surprise tire.
But like in my car, that what's it called? Light is just broken, so that my tire pressure light is on all the time.
Yeah. So you just want it to yell at you, "I'm still broken."
Or no, like I want cars to be smart enough to be like, this light's just broken. You're good. We checked it.
What a liability disaster. Be like, "We good, fam.
Your engine's fine," and then you die. 2
Wheel
miles
about to
down the
fall
road.
off.
We good.
We good, fam."
You like program Gen Z lingo into your car,
No,
Slay.
Listen. Actually, you're onto something.
right?
I think that's good.
I think it could work.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So my next idea, kind of similar line of that, but not at all. Not nailing the transitions, but I'm working on it. Similar to your idea with the gauges, right? Get rid of screens. I say get rid of the center screen altogether and don't bring back buttons. And you're thinking, how do you do that? Case said it perfectly in the meeting this morning. Do you guys remember? Case was a big Katy Perry guy when he was young. Big into fireworks.
Is that true?
Yeah, he's having a bit of a crisis with this whole astronaut.
He's
Katy Perry.
currently very much in love with Dua Lipa.
Yes,
That is true.
that's right. But
I will back that
when Case
fully.
Notice the
in a-
silence for Katy Perry.
when Case was in a teenage dream back in 2011, the number one way to listen to Teenage Dream was to put your iPod Nano in an iHome, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Why don't we just get rid of the screens? No more Apple CarPlay, no more millions of dollars spent on tech, and just put an iHome in the dash.
I get that, but doesn't that also that assumes that everybody has a phone that's compatible with that?
Well, here's the thing though. Really all it is an auxiliary port into some speakers. So you just plug in your phone, it's got a mount on the dash.
Well, also the iHomes had like different bases that you could stick onto it depending on how large or small your iPod was. By the way, my only contribution to that idea was invoking the iHome when Tommy talked about having a dock.
That's right.
Actually, there's a motorcycle that, it's weird. There's a motorcycle that has a phone for its dash, but it's not your phone, it's the motorcycle. The motorcycle owns a phone. The motorcycle comes with a phone.
Is that where Motorola comes from?
No, but it could be. That's a good idea.
So the motorcycle owns its own phone.
It's called the Stark Varg EX.
Varg?
It's a bad name. Don't worry about it.
This keeps getting worse.
Varg EX.
The Stark Varg.
It's yeah.
So it's like a burner phone?
Well, it's not as sketchy as that. But
It's like a burner phone.
yeah, so it's weird. It's not a dock for your phone, like the bike. I mean, you own the phone if you own the bike. That's not what I mean, but like
What happens if you don't want to use it?
it's like the bike's phone. Well, then you got no dash.
So Case
You ain't got no dash.
So
Case
they're
is-
just upselling you.
Case has taken
Yeah.
my brilliant idea and ruined it here. But I genuinely, there's
Well, I didn't come up with that, Tommy. I don't
That's
work
true.
at Stark.
It's not his
but
invention.
you provided a terrible example of a bike that you gotta go
This
get
is
a
exactly
phone
what you're
plan
talking
for.
No,
about.
this is exactly what you're
This is a
talking
needy
about.
middle schooler. I don't want it to
What?
come with its own phone.
Well, yeah, no,
No,
obviously.
you want it to come
I
with a
don't
dock.
I want it to
Yeah.
come with a dock. And then guess what? You don't need navigation because you have navigation. You don't need Spotify built into your screen because you have Spotify on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say it's more distracting. I would argue it's not because people are already on their phones all the time anyways when driving.
But it's smaller.
That's
It's a
bad
smaller screen.
justification.
It's
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the janky
You're
version
talking
of
about
Apple
CarPlay.
CarPlay?
okay. It's just better
It's
CarPlay.
smaller, though.
You know what the
Is it
problem with
better?
CarPlay is? You can't access everything.
That's
So,
actually one of the benefits of CarPlay.
I'm just saying.
If your phone was docked in the dash,
I'm a
they
little
would still
nervous to
limit.
drive with you now.
So the Citroën, I think it's the Emmy, does this sort of in France.
How many Citroens are we going to talk about in
Yeah.
this episode?
My point is, it's a great idea because the hundreds of billions of dollars wasted makes cars more expensive on each company.
You know what's pretty
developing-
expensive?
What?
A car crash.
Not hundreds of billions of dollars. And Mary, there's all this money spent on screens. It's taking up the whole dashboard. People are annoyed by it. Just have your phone up there, plug it in. You got Google Maps. You got
Well, some people
Spotify.
do have, like, you ever seen like the mounts?
Yes, just have
How is
that.
that different?
Because
people do have that.
I don't want the screen underneath the mount.
So you want to inconvenience most of the population so
I
that
want
you
to-
can have like the same experience as
Tommy
everybody
wants
else.
to make people more dependent on
Guys,
their phones.
I am
that's
the
what it sounds
man
You
of
can't
the
even
people.
drive without your phone.
No screens cheaper, less money for app development and interface development, right? You just use your phone and have it plug in. And then you have 4 buttons that say hot, cold,
God.
little hot, and little cold.
Tommy's idea of a car is one where if you lose your phone, you get pulled over. Do you know how fast you were going? No idea.
No idea. There's no gauge.
I cracked my screen on the part where it shows speed.
You can't have the speedometer in the phone. You're right,
Tommy's
Casey.
like ideal car is just a prototype of a bad car.
Guys, I really think I'm onto something. Cars would be way cheaper. There's less to break. You don't have climate control on the screen. You don't need to pay for apps or navigation.
Do you have climate control like at all? Oh yeah, you have,
You
your
have,
4
like, the
buttons.
4 buttons.
Of course.
Or a slider, whatever crap you want. And then, like, guys, we're all sick of screens. It's all been said. Case's rock crawler just fell off.
He got
You're telling
bummed
me-
about your idea.
I can't believe no one's on my team about this.
I don't.
People love mounting their phone to the dashboard. You have a dash cam even
I
built
feel
in.
personally, I feel safer with CarPlay than when my phone is like because you're
Why?
because when you get a text when your phone is mounted, you can see what it says, and CarPlay just says you have a text, and you can be like, hey, read me that text, please.
Well, you can use Siri. Siri, what's the text I just got? It's only safer if you make it safer. It does.
So you want it to be more.
It requires some responsibility on part of the driver because they shouldn't be on TikTok, which is a problem. But people go on TikTok anyways when they're driving.
Tommy, that's not a good reason to like drop safety features.
But guys, CarPlay is just a worse version of your phone. Just
It's
put
kind
the
of
phone.
like making murder legal because people are gonna murder anyway.
One could argue, and I am the one, that CarPlay is the main good thing about new cars.
I would say that's true.
I would argue CarPlay is just your phone. It has the apps and it has the screen.
It's better. It's bigger.
Why?
But it's also better
Bigger is
because
always
you can just like press the steering wheel and be like, "Hey, do this," and it'll be like, "Okay," and then you can say, "Hey, navigate to this place." It's just
you can do that on your
simpler.
phone. I can push Siri right now and be like, take me to the
Yeah,
office.
I know it's because CarPlay is your phone,
But
it's
why have
safer
2? You have a phone already.
for safety.
Oh my gosh.
Tommy, are you ready for another transition?
Yes.
So if you have friends or coworkers like Tommy, and he comes up with all kinds of ideas that you need to throw in the trash,
Case has invented the duct tape over
Trash
the mouth.
can.
trash can in the car.
Yes, it's a
Not
good
saying it's
idea.
never been done, just saying it could be done more.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's true.
To throw
I have a
away
trash can
all
in
of
my car.
Tommy's ideas. Yeah, but that's aftermarket, right?
It's the side door.
No, God, Mary.
No, yeah, no,
That's brutal.
That's bad.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
I know you're not.
I'm not. I wish I was.
I do.
I think that's a good
The
idea.
in-car trash can, great idea.
Although the problem I see with that is smell. What if
Well,
it gets stinky?
You could seal it and have like hefty scented bags.
So how about this? You have your trash can
Yeah.
next to your liquid dispenser where you pour your liquids.
I mean, ideally, it's not going to be like a compost bin, you know? Like, let's say you go to the store and you buy some AA batteries for your headlamp that you need to see, or I don't know. Whatever. You get a bag of chips, or crisps, as they call them some places, and you throw your crisps bag in your car.
I think you're right.
How smelly is
Yeah.
the stuff that is
Not
in your
very,
door card?
but I'm talking
Yeah.
about like food that you didn't finish or like Wendy's.
Well,
or
that
like
should
You
be-
might be better
McDonald's.
off.
That
throwing
shouldn't be
out
allowed in the
Yeah.
car
somewhere
anyways.
else, yeah.
I mean, I agree with you for sure.
Do you agree with me? Mary's like, I got my feta cheese. I only have half the block of feta cheese.
Yeah, if you're like
You're buying blocks of feta cheese.
if you're like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
I never got around to cooking this chicken breast and it's getting old, I'm going to throw it in the center console of my RAV4 and
Guys,
drive around for the next 4
don't
weeks.
have leftover Thanksgiving meals in my car.
That would be bad.
I just have things. I just have stuff and things and some Starbucks cups.
The problem is, where do you put the trash can?
Yeah.
Somewhere. You find a place.
What if it-
Rivian
what if-
has a Bluetooth speaker
It could
in
fall
it.
from the ceiling.
What, you want trash
That
on
would
your
be
head?
so
What
sick.
do you mean fall from the ceiling?
Did you guys ever watch Spy Kids?
I did, a little.
Yeah,
That
you
was a
remember-
while ago.
Oh,
to be
that's,
honest.
you know who's married to the Spy Kid is Megan Trainor.
Yeah, that's correct. But in that movie, they had like, this is not a trash can, but I think we could put it in the car anyway. There was like a little microwave that they had on the spaceship. And you would put a little like flat packet or something in and you'd hit like the button and it would go boing. And it would be like
You could
food.
press a button and it could like lift up and rotate out of the center console, and there could
Like
be
a spiral
There
staircase.
could be like smoke,
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I figured
and
it
then
out.
open up.
You
a good
know what's
idea.
something you don't really use? So if you look how you're sitting right now, everyone take a look down. So your bottom's on the seat, right? But you got this square in front.
If you're man spreading, not me.
You got the area in front of your groin, right? And typically in a car, there's a cushion there. What if we hollow that cushion out and put a little trash
You want
bin in
to
there?
be sitting on top of your own trash? Like a little raccoon?
It also covers it. Like there's like a little fabric cover. So like,
That's actually a good incentive to take the trash out.
there you go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get use chip bags on your pants. Terrible idea.
Making an
pants.
otherwise good idea.
I'm just trying to.
Bad once
You had no solution where to put the trash.
That's a fair point.
Mary said to put
I
it on the
just
roof
did. I
for
said
some
it-
reason.
I said
you
it would
press a
come
button
from
in
the
it.
roof. It would drop down.
Yeah, we all had ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, someone out there in the comments will have it cleared up.
Should we move on to the one thing we want to remove from cars
Yeah,
before this turns
I would
into
say
Okay.
before a physical
a
altercation.
Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
What do you got?
extended
For me?
cut?
Yeah, what are you pulling
Well,
out?
I mean, I'm going to say the obvious first, which is massive screens. I think like if having everything known to man in the infotainment system is insane. Like I want buttons for climate control. I want buttons for headlights. I want buttons for windshield wipers.
Your ideas are still bad, Tommy.
So stop making huge infotainment screens. That is so unnecessary.
Yeah. We don't. These two don't know what the solution is, but there's probably a solution.
buttons.
You
I'm
want-
not saying take away infotainment screens altogether. I'm saying stop putting the things that are on the outside of the car
Yes.
inside a screen.
We all agree, but then you still have a screen.
Yeah, for like normal, like CarPlay. A screen for CarPlay is perfectly acceptable. But if I have to like dig around in my screen, like this happened in all the minis that Jen and I drove. Also, by the way, Jen is in Chicago and we miss her dearly.
Yeah.
I hated. It took me
Yes.
like 7 minutes to find where to change the temperature in the car.
I know.
Or like turn the headlights on. Or
You just wanted it. Maybe,
next thing you know, the blinker's gonna be in the screen.
Yeah. Well,
Preach.
Tesla's putting the gear shift in the screen.
Or no.
I agree. Yeah.
Hard
right.
pass.
I offered a perfectly good solution. You two hated me for it, but you're right. There's too much screen. CarPlay is cool.
It is.
Same thing as your
Agreed.
phone, but it is cool. A plus, B minus. Here's what I'm removing from cars. We talked about it a little bit, but I'm coming back to this. No more carpets. No more carpets in cars.
Okay.
Hardwood floors.
Well, seriously,
Kind of
folks,
uncomfy.
why do we? There's a Top Gear skit about this where Jeremy Clarkson was like, nothing that's in your car is something you want in your home, right? You don't want plastic all over your kitchen and leather on everything you own, right? So why do we have it in cars? I hate carpet.
A marble dashboard.
Yeah, why is there carpet?
Cool.
Why is there carpet in your car?
Is it lighter?
What? I mean, it does add some sound insulation and temperature insulation. You're right, but I think get rid of it. I just don't want
Yeah.
it.
A
Okay.
2x4 plank of cedar would add some sound insulation
That's actually a
too.
good point, though. What would you replace it with?
Well, I was thinking laminate would look kind of nice.
Laminate.
Tile.
You want tile? in your
Tile.
car?
Why
That's
not?
a good idea. Have
Why
you ever
not?
picked up a box of tile,
What about
Tommy?
like dogs and like?
I don't want dog as the floor. I'm sorry.
Did you say dogs?
No, I'm not Cruella de Villing it. I'm just saying. You know how like if a dog is in your car,
Yeah.
sometimes it's on the floor.
So you have a dirty dog. Would you bring your dirty dog in your house and put it right on the carpet, or would you rather put it on hardwood because it's easier to clean?
No, that's a fair point. I don't disagree with you. I'm just trying to see
I
if you
think-
have alternate options.
I think you're right on cedar would be bamboo. Bamboo floors would kick ass.
Is that flammable?
That would be cool.
Maybe a little, but it's badass. Other solutions. I was thinking about this a lot last night. Why is it we are allowed to wear shoes in the car but not in the house? Why not?
Some people do allow shoes in the house. I'll just say that.
Okay, well, we don't talk about those people here unless
It's a little
you.
weird. No, it's a little weird.
Okay, but why not have like a little cubby where you, like on the floor, you get in, you take your shoes off, eliminate 90%
I know
They're
why.
very Japanese.
Why?
Because a car is an enclosed space.
And a house is not.
Well, it's a much bigger space. Imagine if you get into a car and everybody takes their shoes off and it just smells like feet.
Well, what
That's
about
true.
tents?
Tents?
Yeah, tents.
Tents also smell like feet.
Yeah, but you're supposed to take your shoes off.
And it still smells.
Well, everything smells bad when you're camping.
Yeah,
I'm just
so
saying
camping is
the
exempt.
enclosed thing is a problem. You're right. We got to work that out. So maybe you have a little box for your shoes and a little box of disposable socks you slide on.
Right, and that's going to be cheaper than the CarPlay.
I'm
He's like taking the money away and putting it right back in for disposable
right back
socks.
into disposable socks. And then there's like the Toyota subscription for disposable socks.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
all kidding aside, carpet needs to go. Vinyl is a very common thing that vehicles used to use, right?
not a bad idea.
On the floor. Carpet ain't it, right? And especially the worst is when you have carpet and then a carpeted floor mat on top of the carpet. Who wants to put a small rug on top of their already existing bigger rug?
People put rugs on a carpeted floor.
They do?
Just saying. Sure. You ever seen like a carpeted room and someone's got like a little extra rug? Cole's seen it.
Cole's seen
Cole
it.
is
Then it
the
must-
only reasonable person in this room aside from myself.
All right, Case, what are you getting rid of?
I'm hitting them where it hurts. I want cars to be voiceless. I'm getting rid of their ability to speak because the last thing that I want to do when I get into the car is relive when I was 16 years old and my dad was like, "Hey, you know that light turned red? Speed limit 45."
Oh, so this
Did you
is
know?
trauma
Do you know?
informed.
Did you know that?
So you want
There's a car in your blind spot. It's like I'm paying attention.
You might want to.
I
What about
realize this.
therapy?
Was in it yesterday. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Not for that, but yeah.
Not for car stalking.
So you want to,
Yeah.
you want to silence the car. You want no interaction.
Or
But
have
where-
an option because there are some people for whom they're driving down the road and they put on their turn signal and they're looking to the right as they start steering left, and the blind spot monitoring saves their lives,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Wait, so you're
But
talking
maybe-
you don't want beeping either?
Yeah, maybe give you the option to say, "Hey, when I get behind the wheel, I'm driving. Don't worry about me. I'm good."
What if you're a bad driver and you just like don't like being told what to do? Like that would scare
That's-
me for like old people.
That's what's happening in Europe. Is all these things are mandatory on now because of that.
Yeah.
But
and it's a
Case
pain.
is so hardcore. Here's what I'm thinking.
so hardcore.
Case about to get in an accident. He's like, I don't want that in my face. Get that airbag out of my face.
Yeah, dude.
I request to turn the airbags off.
Yeah, no, thank you. The hell. So like, where's the line though? So you
Airbags probably.
Well, it would just be nice to have the freedom of choice.
So you want no seatbelt. I'm not
Well,
being
seatbelts are
contained by
good.
the seatbelt.
What about like when a car yells at you because your seatbelt's not on? You want to turn that off too?
Ooh,
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
do. But no, stuff like
Case does wear a seatbelt for the
Yeah, I
record,
do.
diligently.
Yeah, he's a safe guy.
when we get into but there's sometimes where like I'm at the ranch and I'm moving something from the barn to the carriage house. And it's bring,
Yeah.
bring. And it's like,
I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would just be nice to have some amount of choice where some of the Toyota stuff that we drive or the Lexuses, God forbid you look over at the climate controls and back up, it says, "You're drowsy. You should pull over." And you say, "You don't know me, car. I have a Celsius right here. I'm sure not drowsy. I promise you that."
Are you sure this isn't an identity issue? You don't know me.
You don't know me, car.
I mean, this comes down to like the safety thing though. Like if that drowsy thing saves a life,
Right.
how much is that worth?
Yeah, I think it's good for the people for whom it benefits. Like there's plenty of people.
Not like Case.
Could you
Not
argue
like
that
me.
it benefits most people? Like I think
yeah.
There
I,
you go, Mary.
Oh,
I was.
definitely.
I mean, if we're putting like a utilitarian argument on it, like
Yeah,
if it the
but there's
more
problems with utility.
Of course, there's problem with all models of
All of-
philosophy,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever. If it benefits most people, that's usually the route you're supposed to go in terms of safety.
Yeah, but it's just a bummer that you can spend like $70,000 on a car and all it ever does is just bug you
So let's
and tell
recap.
you to do stuff. You know what I also hate?
What?
Oh, we'll save this for the grind my gears.
Okay,
Um,
nice.
Let's do a quick recap. My perfect car get on in, take my shoes off, put them in the shoebox, got my little hardwood floor, take my phone, stick it in the docking station, start the car. Am I a little hot? Am I a little cold? Go, off I go.
He's got tile in the trunk. The car has 70 horsepower and solid axles.
Mary's car full of trash. No screens.
Tell you what, guys. One day, I'm gonna pull into my RAV4 and it's gonna be spotless.
No, I'm saying your perfect car. It's got trash cans all over, right? You get in. There's no screens.
Yeah. No, you don't listen very well. I said the CarPlay screen is fine.
And what was the other one?
What?
The other thing you didn't want or wanted in your car? So you had the trash, CarPlay screen.
That was it. I just said I don't want huge screens anymore. My other one is I wish that shifters were all
That's
the
right.
same.
Yep. And then Mary gets in, same shifter. She's got her line of horns. She's good to go.
Oh yeah, my line of horns.
Case gets into his perfect car. It's just a 1985 Nissan Sentra. It's the ideal automobile.
I pretty much just described my 73 Mercedes.
There you go.
You did.
It's
So Case's perfect car, terrible and old. My perfect car, convenient, handy, and helps your life. Mary's perfect car, full of trash cans.
The trash can wasn't my idea. That was Case's idea.
What was one of your
That's true.
ideas?
Well,
You had the horns.
I didn't have. Yeah, the horn was my other
Ineos
idea.
Grenadier.
And,
Yes.
and also
That's what
your
she
word,
means.
like using your words instead of symbols.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mary's car is
Yeah.
telling her what to do. Your car says nothing.
No, it's not telling me what to do. It's telling me what's wrong. It's like, hey, this is messed up.
High maintenance.
If you want to fix it, you can.
Or don't.
But you're not going to be confused about what's wrong.
Mary's the first car ever to actively use the word slay.
I'm the first car ever.
No, your car is going to
Your
be the
car's
first
going to
ever.
say that.
It probably will.
So
Yeah.
what we've determined, your car's bad. Your car's a little annoying. My car makes your life better.
Doesn't make
Does
any
it
sense.
though?
I need to put this away from me because I keep
Yeah, you're
messing
really.
with it.
Moving on to trivia. Am I right?
Yes, moving on to trivia.
But before we go to trivia, we do have to talk about a real sponsor.
Yeah.
Not just the 2007 RAV4. As great as that was.
And we have a real sponsor. It's Scott and the team at O'Sullivan.
Guys, our real sponsor was worse than our 2007. Scott, we're working hard from you. But Scott O'Sullivan runs O'Sullivan Law Firm. And Case, what does Scott do?
Basically, we've been working with them for a bunch of years, especially on the motorcycle side of things, because Scott also runs Rider Justice. And if you ever need legal representation, if you're either in an accident on 2 wheels or on 4, then Scott is the guy to work with. The reason that we keep working with him is because they're awesome people. They genuinely care about the people that they work with. And he's also a good friend.
Yeah, and I think even if you have an accident on 3 wheels, you forgot 3.
That's true. I always say 2 and 4.
For
Like
all
a
the-
tricycle?
Or a Can-Am.
Or a Can-Am. Mary's on her big wheel. She's like, thank God I got Scott on my side over here.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, anything automotive, vehicle related that you need legal help with, we'll include a link below. Scott is the coolest guy, only guy I know that has a motorcycle powered blender.
He does.
It's cool.
It's pretty sweet.
Super cool dude. Yeah, genuinely, he like messages sometimes about what we're doing, and he really wants to be involved and has a cool taste in cars. So thank you, Scott, for sponsoring our podcast. Pays much better than the 07 RAV4 does.
For sure.
Yeah.
Why do we talk about your car so much?
Because she's a legend.
A legend. So Mary is opening the envelope.
It says top secret,
That's
this
right.
envelope. It's never been in an envelope before.
But it isn't.
Tommy-
You actually sealed it. You didn't.
Yeah, it's like sealed.
That's annoying.
I didn't want to look at it.
Well,
Just really wanted to eliminate the possibility of cheating. So, since Jen is not here,
We're gonna do very badly.
Jen is normally the winner of trivia.
Yeah, which means
That's actually
Tommy
why
is
she's not
this
here.
time.
Yeah. we actually kicked Jen off so that these two would have a fighting chance.
You're fired.
And we'll see. It'll be fun. I didn't like it. It makes me sad.
Okay, let's
Okay.
see. Let's see.
All right, so we're gonna put the scoreboard over here. Is this good?
Mm-hmm.
Tom,
Case.
Beautiful.
you put me down as Dirk.
Dirk. All right, guys, ready?
Yeah.
Question
Not
number
looking.
1. Oh boy. Okay, don't look, guys.
I'm sweating.
The Meat Fleet tracker is a handy.
I'm sorry. Repeat that
Hey, can we start over
from the top. From the
From
top.
the top?
Okay, are we focused?
We're focused.
We locked in, boys.
I didn't hear the words
Can you enunciate a little better?
in a
The
southern
meat-
accent.
Oh, the Meat Fleet tracker is a handy way to find out if there's going to be an appearance at a nearby Halloween carnival by one of certain group of vehicles shaped like What ballpark
Oh.
food?
Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Well done, guys. I'm going to give you
I
both a
didn't
point.
understand any part of that question.
Until the end.
Yeah, until the very end.
It's meant
That
to.
was
It's meant to misdirect.
That I do. We may have to cut this from the podcast because I do not want to give any publicity to the meat fleet. The meat
Yeah,
fleet.
that was horrible.
This is what Scott is paying for. The meat
Okay,
fleet.
fine. Question number 1.
2.
Maybe question. Well, if we got the first one, that says flit.
Cole is trying to look up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not it. No
Yeah.
Man's Sky. Wow.
Okay.
Huh. Okay. What letter A term refers to the rate at which velocity changes over time and the direction in which that change is acting?
Acceleration.
Very good. Case.
Wow.
I was thinking about acting, and then I was thinking about stage names, and it's not it.
Do I have to wait until the question ends to say
No,
it?
you
No,
can
if you
just
know
yell
it.
it
But
out.
just be aware, if you get it wrong, then it's not.
This could be the buzzer. Bam.
Okay. In 1968, Elliot Handler came up with what brand of toy cars as a competition to Matchbox?
Hot Wheels.
So you was
Fast.
fast on
That was
that.
good.
That was good. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Okay. In May 2003, the fastest known speeding ticket in U.S. history was handed out, with a Swedish sports car allegedly going 242 miles per hour in a 75 zone. Fittingly, in what state did it occur?
Texas?
Montana.
Texas.
Oh, gosh.
Nice.
What was the Swedish sports car, Mary?
Haha.
What was the Swedish sports car?
I don't know.
Well, we've got a few. We've got Volvo. He goes with Volvo.
Can you give me some more
A
options?
Volvo at 242 miles an hour, Tommy?
A Saab.
A Saab
Was
at
that
242
SAAB?
miles an hour.
SAAB.
Only
Or,
a Saab airplane.
do you know what the last one is?
Koenigsegg?
Koenigsegg.
Yeah.
How do you think you spell Koenigsegg?
K-O-N.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yes?
No.
Koenigsegg.
Koenigsegg.
Do you really know that?
Yeah.
That was like MISSI.
Is that real? How do you know that?
Why do you know that?
I don't know.
Nobody knows that.
Do I get an extra point for that?
No.
Koenigsegg.
Is that what the car was?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Koenigsegg.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it must be. It's not a Saab.
Or a Volvo.
Or Volvo.
All right, here we go. By the end of 2025, a Dutch company is hoping to start production on the first affordable solar-powered car on the market. What is the car manufacturer's
Is it a
name?
Dunkervoort? A Dunkervoort?
No.
You know
Is
what
it
I'm talking about?
Aptera?
No.
What is
All right,
it?
I did say if they struggle, here's a hint, was in parentheses for this. So go me. It is also a character in the Toy Story films.
Oh, it's Woody. Nope. It's the
Buzz
Oh, it's the
Lightyear?
Lightyear. Oh, I mean,
Some extra editing to do on this. Tommy's getting really invested.
you're gonna have to cut that Cole.
Oh,
You're gonna have to cut that now. This is a
sorry,
disaster.
Cole. I'm sorry.
I'm the only professional here.
Ooh, okay. Often made of vinyl, what name is given to the black cover that is often used to protect the hood and front bumper of a car?
Oh, a bra.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
gosh, you're good at this.
90s cars, man.
Yeah, you're right.
In 1967, Indy 500 was paced by a convertible version of which sporty Chevy car?
Camaro.
Nice.
I was going to say Corvette, so I wouldn't have had that. Oh, did you add that to? No, they. Okay. I was going to say.
Established on November 11th, 1926, and stretching 2,448 miles across the U.S., what
Route
famous highway
66.
is also
That
known as
was
the Will Rogers Memorial Highway?
Yeah, go for Will. Good for Will Rogers. My favorite country music singer.
Think of
Perhaps.
Kenny Rogers?
I might be. Can you look up Will?
Kenny Rogers was not in the 20s, for one.
Look up
going
Will
on?
Rogers.
I don't.
Is he?
Oh,
Vaudeville.
Vaudeville.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
So he's a performer of
He's a
sorts.
performer.
You were on to something
okay.
there.
American vaudeville performer, actor, and humorous social commentator.
Oh, didn't last the test of time.
Well, he has a highway named after him.
Oh, he does.
Okay. The car company Holden, which is now owned by General Motors, began in 1948 in which country?
Australia.
Nice. Okay, tied up.
Tied up.
Wow.
5v5.
Also dead now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Australia?
No.
Dead to us.
Okay, here we go. What internationally recognized car brand, commissioned in 1934 by the country's notorious leader, translates in English?
Volkswagen. Tommy knew it too. He was just being polite. I decided to not be
Okay,
polite because
what
it's
is-
my only chance.
What does it translate to?
People car.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay. Which
Well, I like to say people wagon.
Okay. Whatever. Which discontinued Toyota model came out in 2014, was a 260 horsepower midsize SUV?
It was the Venza.
No. With a retro style and was built by Hino Motors.
What the hell, Mary? Which discontinued
Toyota model.
Oh, in 14? Huh.
This is like
Built
this
by-
is
No,
squarely in
listen. Okay,
Tommy's.
this is the full question. Sometimes I leave out bits of information that's there to help
That's
people who are
important.
not car people.
Okay.
Okay, so the full question is, which discontinued Toyota model, the last one, the Trail Teams model, came out in 2014.
FJ Cruiser.
There
Oh,
it is.
Wow.
Yes.
Someone
Yeah,
was
see why I omitted
scream-
it?
'Cause
Somebody
the
was
came
screaming
out,
that at,
yeah.
at
But
their screen.
the came out, because it came out in what, 07, 08?
Yeah, sure. That was
That's
my
a
bad.
good one.
Yeah.
It's all caught up.
Okay, so Tommy and Case are tied again. Cool. Alaska is home to the largest mountain in the United States, coming in at over 20,000 feet.
Denali?
Yes, sir.
Oh, because GMC. Wow, Case.
Yeah. Namesake for a line of GMC trucks. Nice.
Yes, good.
Okay, what is the name of the French brand of luxury sports cars that includes the Chiron and the Divo?
Bugatti.
Nice.
Chiron.
Chiron.
Good.
That was
Thank you.
good pronunciation. You know what that means, Chiron?
Pronunciation.
Is it? No, I don't know.
I don't either.
Cool. That's a good bit of trivia.
This is why people come to Carish.
Oh, Cole's got to look it
What
up.
does Chiron mean?
Chiron. What does chicken mean?
Mean it in astrology.
Wow. Chiron.
Wounded healer.
Wow.
That's so
You should
weird
maybe
and
check,
random.
say in French.
In French,
is.
yeah.
In French.
Okay.
It is. Translate directly to Chiron.
Chiron. Wait, that's what I was gonna guess. I was gonna guess
it's a
Chiron because
it's a-
he's a centaur
Oh.
in Greek mythology.
And what's a tourbillon?
Oh.
The new one.
Is that a wind? I don't know.
No, tourbillon is the movement inside a watch.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
tourbillon.
Which is why the new tourbillon has those gauges that look like a watch.
Dexter would
Yeah.
know that.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Okay. What British manufacturer of luxury cars was founded by Lionel Martin and Robert Bamford?
Aston Martin.
Yes, sir.
That was a good one for Tommy because
yeah.
he owns an
Tailored
Aston
to me.
Tommy is an Aston Martin owner.
What 5-letter word specifically means a closed 2-door car with less than 33 cubic feet of rear interior space?
Coupe.
Yes, sir.
That's
Guys.
a very specific definition.
That is
Neck
very
and neck.
Are you a
Okay.
coupe kind of guy? Or are you a coupe?
Coupe? No. Coupe sounds a little too much like toupee.
Well, the British would say coupe is for chickens.
Well, the British are who say that are probably wearing toupees.
Okay, next,
That was
Mary.
good
That was
banter,
good
guys.
banter.
Bam.
Really good banter. Okay.
Write that down, Cole.
10 out of 10 banter. Okay. Featuring 36 silk screen paintings and 13 drawings in the artist's signature colorful pop style, Cars is a series of artworks commissioned by Mercedes-Benz in the 80s from what artist?
Oh, is it the guy that there's like the multiple images in different colors, like the paintings of someone's face? You know what I'm talking about?
Are you thinking
I know
of
the answer.
Campbell's?
Yeah.
The Campbell, like Andy
Yeah, yeah.
Warhol?
Andy Warhol.
Wow, is it really?
So who gets that point?
Well, Tommy gets that point.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
but you
got him.
got
Oh,
You
I
got
didn't
him
know.
there.
I didn't know the name.
All right.
I
What
never
is, okay, this is going to be a rapid fire. Ready?
Yeah.
What does LED stand for?
Oh,
Light
light emitting
emitting
diode.
I'll give you, I'd say neither.
Neither, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
It's a
Okay.
draw.
Okay. An urban legend exists that in the 70s, a Chevrolet model failed to sell in Spanish-speaking
Nova.
countries.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. Should I
Because
finish
it
the
means-
question?
sure,
Because
yeah.
the name
Yeah, for the-
means doesn't go in
No
Spanish.
go.
Also,
Nova.
did you know what the Hyundai Kona is?
Is it an ice cream cone?
It is not, but it is a Hyundai car. It's a small little SUV. What country is it not called the Kona in?
Korea.
No. That would be funny because it's from Korea. Portugal.
Portugal.
Because of Portuguese.
Because of Portuguese, Kona means something very different.
Oh.
It's very bad.
Oh, no.
And we'll let them Google it themselves, Cole.
All right, guys,
At your own
last two.
risk.
Ready?
Uh-huh.
What sporty compact, first released by Volkswagen in '74 and also marketed in the U.S. as the Rabbit, was intended as a replacement for the Beetle?
The Golf.
Well done, Tommy.
Tommy's a Volkswagen guy.
Well,
You do the slashes for the fifth the wrong way.
No, I don't. That's the right way.
Yeah. Nah.
I go
Right?
northeast to
Nah.
southwest.
That ain't it.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway.
Okay. Well,
The other way is
she's
wrong.
doing like tallies, you know.
that's a
and
deep cut.
she
That's
does-
because she hasn't put time in the clink like we have.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
What does the B in BMW stand for?
Bavarian.
Bayerisch.
Area.
Okay.
Guys, you guys
Tommy-
tied.
Tommy knows all these things. He's
What does
just being
the B
polite.
stand for in BMW? Because technically, isn't it
What were you saying?
Bayerisch Motorwerken?
This says
No one speaks.
German.
or Bavarian.
Okay, we'll tie it. Let's call it a tie.
yeah.
Well,
that's-
if you tied it,
I
then
like
Case
it.
got that
Tommy
point.
won. Yeah.
No, let's keep it a tie, and I want you to come up with the trivia question. So where have you been getting your trivia from?
So this one was exclusively provided by Water Cooler Trivia. Thank
Nice.
you.
Well, what if
for whoever did that?
Yeah.
All the other ones I've kind of just scanned the web and
Okay.
put stuff
Can
together.
you think of a piece of trivia? It can be correlated. Doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Yeah, it could
And
be
be
anything,
a
I suppose.
tiebreaker.
Oh, geez.
Preferably something about like paragliding
Or clarinet.
Or a clarinet, perhaps?
Maybe.
Okay. What is the name of the actress who plays Sharpay in High School Musical?
Oh, God.
I've never seen
this.
that.
This is terrible news. Is it? You know this movie.
Clint
You
Eastwood.
No.
Actress.
Actress. She did that. Oh, my God. It's like my favorite song now. In the pool.
She's a singer?
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Do you know this song?
I don't know that song.
I want fabulous. That is my simple request.
No, I've never heard this.
And then it goes minor.
Do we want a different one?
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, that was not it. Yeah, maybe a different one would be good.
Okay.
Name 3 makers of paragliders.
How do you play a B flat major on the clarinet?
That's a have you ever. That's not even a trivia.
Okay. I have one that pertains to both of you. Okay, wait. I lost it. What is the shortcut to zoom in Final Cut?
Oh gosh.
Oh, Command Plus.
Yep.
No!
Yeah.
That does not pertain to both of
Yes,
us.
it does. You've edited before.
You've been doing this job since you were 12
Yeah.
years old.
Cole, our editor, probably didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
Cole definitely knew
Case won the trivia. Good job, Case.
By one though, so pretty tight
Good
race.
trivia.
Thank
you did a good job on this one.
Thank you. It's
Thank
'cause-
God Jen wasn't here. It'd be a disaster. We'd lose monumentally badly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Where are we at, Cole? How much time are we in?
Hour and 7 minutes.
Perfect.
Not
Hour and 7
bad, not
minutes.
bad.
That's short for us.
It's time to
Concise.
grind some gears.
Yes,
Ooh, yeah.
for sure.
What's been grinding your gears lately, Mary?
Well, something that's always grounded.
Grinded?
Grounded. My gears is what you did to me today. I'm so bad at opening envelopes.
Oh, interesting.
And I can't do it well, as is demonstrated.
So
right
what's
here.
your usual technique?
Oh, rip it open, and pray I don't get the paper inside.
Tear a check in half.
Do you have a
Yeah.
technique? I actually have a technique to this.
Do you have a letter opener?
No.
Oh,
That'd be
I
cool,
just
though.
use a big knife.
Well,
Biggest one I
God.
can find.
there's a knife in the leaf, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, it's like in the side door where my trash is. I don't put trash in the leaf, for the record.
Thank you. Is it a box opener or is it a knife?
I'm pretty sure it's a pocket knife. I think.
what?
Yeah, it's
This is crazy.
it's like a real pocket knife.
Okay. Are you missing a pocket
No,
knife?
I've got mine.
Okay.
What's your way to open a letter?
So you take your finger. I usually use my fingers rather than the toes. And you, so you start at the corner here, right? You get like a little. you
Yep.
get a little
Show the
corner.
camera. Show
Yeah.
the camera.
Yeah. Get a nice.
For
tight
those who are
shot.
listening, so sorry.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you work your finger in there, right? And then you get it on the seam, like that, and you go. A little too violent.
Oh, so you open
It
it,
worked.
like
You
north to
rip
south
down
instead of
the
east to west.
side.
I see.
That's right.
Okay.
And that works
Does it?
50% of the time, 100% of the time.
Nice. 60% of the time it works every time.
Guys, I kind of miss
Excellent.
opening letters, though.
I love when I get a letter. It's so exciting.
Now I
don't.
only get them from
I hate it. Yeah, I get it
Sirius
from
XM and the IRS.
Yeah, I get it
Yikes.
from like my bank sends me so many letters.
That's mine.
I switched it to electronic only, and they sent me a letter to tell me that I switched to electronic banking. Seriously?
Who's your bank?
UBS.
Okay.
Oh, who's your what's your bank account number?
Don't worry about it. Yeah. So that was something.
That's interesting because the most letters I get genuinely is from Sirius XM Radio. They
Why?
send me probably one a day.
And you've got XMs?
I do not. No, I do not have Sirius.
What do
XM
the
Radio.
letters say?
Hey, your XM radio subscription has expired. For a limited time only, we'll offer it to you at $99 a year. And the thing about Sirius XM radio, it's like negotiating in a Moroccan market. Have you ever tried to buy Sirius XM radio?
No.
They have the price, and they say, I'm not interested. That price will halve. And you say, I'm not interested. That price will halve again. I mean, you can negotiate it down to like a 25% of what it is.
Dang.
It's crazy.
Why haven't you done that?
Because I don't really want Sirius XM radio.
But it's a deal.
It is a deal. For $9.99,
A lot of the vehicles you have are of the Sirius XM era.
my dad does love XM radio. Channel 55 chill. Put that
Chill.
on.
Oh, every time you
Very,
get in the car.
very good.
Hates chill. Hates
It's
it.
a little too chill.
Oh, that surprises me. I feel like your music's kind of chill.
It depends.
Okay.
When other people are around that I don't want to frighten,
Oh,
my
sure.
music is pretty chill.
Okay, love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Straight
Oh,
up.
I actually do have another one.
What's the K?
Tupperwares, when you put like sauce in them and then they're red forever. That
Oh, it
really
stains your
Yeah,
Tupperware?
that bothers me.
We gotta get you better Tupperware.
I think maybe. I've never considered that. I've never considered that I just have cheap Tupperware.
Ooh, I've got some it's the lid is plastic, but it's glass.
Oh yeah, I have glass Tupperware. It doesn't stain glass, but if it's like because you don't want to carry glass around.
That's fair.
So
I feel
it's bothered me since I was a young little lady.
I like they're both good. You know what has been bothering me lately?
What?
Electrical outlets.
Oh boy.
Like the presence of them or
Here
the
we
lack
go.
of them?
The
In
lack of
kitchen
them
specifically?
no, I've got plenty of electrical outlets. I think in general, in the U.S., we have enough electrical outlets. And there are plenty on airplanes. Have you ever tried to use one on an airplane?
No, I
Yeah.
avoid them pretty much all the time.
Awful.
Yeah,
they
bad.
just flop out. Why can't we design an electrical outlet that just holds it forever?
It's just really
Are you talking about like the
Secure.
how well it secures
Yes,
the prongs?
it doesn't hold the prongs.
Oh, I see.
You know?
Yeah.
It feels like in everything in life, there's so many amazing engineers that have come up with interesting little holding mechanisms and twisty things. And we just have two pieces of metal that go into the wall.
Yeah.
That's the best we can do.
know
And a
what we
kid
need?
can put a fork in there and die.
Well, so, okay, you've been a lot of places around the world though.
Yes.
Some outlets in other countries are kind of spooky. like in
some
Spain.
look strange.
Yeah, they look weird. Like in Spain and also in Switzerland. They're two different types.
Well, I want you, in as much detail as you can, to describe what they look like.
Well, in Spain it's more circular. So it's instead of like kind of that octagon-y shape that we have, it's more circular. And it has like, it's the same thing, Tommy. It's two, or maybe sometimes it's three, but it's two openings. But
Yep.
the difference is that it's not like flimsy. Like you have like metal rods.
They're chunks.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
are going into the. And so when I lived in Spain, I had to use an adapter every single time. So I was using an adapter for a year.
Yes.
And I was super scared it was going to stop working.
Also, high voltage.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Is
Yeah.
that in Europe, like it's scary to plug things in. Because they're like, you feel like you're like getting pretty close to power.
You know that scene like in movies where the bomb's about to go off and they're like about to cut the wire and
Yeah.
it's like shaking their hand. That's
Yeah.
what I imagine Mary's
Yeah,
like
that's-
plugging in her toaster.
Can you look up the Switzerland one, Cole?
Why, as a society, have we not standardized this?
I don't know. Why does America not use the metric system? See, so it's the same thing, but this one is a little bit more ovally,
Oh wow.
right?
How neat.
And it's deceptive because you go in with your Spain outlet and you're like, this will fit. And then it doesn't get anywhere near the Switzerland outlet. So that's...
Hear me out. Why not like a twist lock? Like you put it in and go,
Oh, that's a good idea. That'd
be cool.
Because
But
then it doesn't fall.
it doesn't
If
fall.
you trip on it, you might,
Well, the punishment for
Start a
tripping,
fire.
the punishment for tripping in my life,
or like kick the outlet out of your wall.
start a fire, trip over the toaster, house burns down.
Not if it's an old toaster.
Not if it's an old toaster.
well-made
they
toasters.
were well, but old toasters.
We
you
are
know-
not about to get into appliances.
I just want to say one last thing about toasters.
No. That's not what's bothering you.
If it's the last thing ever,
You don't want to know an interesting fact
I
about
do.
toasters?
Please tell me.
When you were a kid,
there is no such thing.
Case, read a book. When you were a kid, your parents had told you to never stick a knife in the toaster, right?
Well, that wasn't like explicitly
I think
said.
it was.
Was that told to you?
I think it was implied just by the
like
nature
evolutionary
of like,
survival.
Well,
instincts.
here's the thing. When I was a kid, that was like stop, drop, and roll. Don't stick knives in toasters.
Have you used stop,
Was
drop,
that a
and
big
roll
problem?
yet?
Not
for you?
yet. Well, but my parents were very cautious. Don't stick knives in toasters. Stop, drop, and roll. That's like a common thing I think a lot of kids know.
Sure.
Stop, drop, and roll, I'm still good with. We're still chill.
You still know how to do it.
We should practice. The toaster thing, though, totally useless. because in olden day toasters, they were constant voltage all the time.
Yeah.
So if you put your knife in a toaster, you get shocked. New toasters, they shut off completely when they're not in use.
So
you
toasters are
can-
better now than they used to be,
They
Tommy.
are worse because they don't have the little thermosiphon
Would the
shut-off
electrical
thing.
current still travel through the metal?
Yeah.
Because it's hot?
You stick, well, it's electricity. If the toaster's off on an old toaster, you
Well,
stick a
it's
knife in.
electricity.
Have you tried sticking a knife in an outlet?
Not today.
I wouldn't do it at work, but in your free time, you do what
But
you
at
want.
home.
I'll report back.
But interesting, right? I thought you guys don't think it's interesting.
I
No.
mean, it's kind of interesting if you don't think about it.
Case, what's grinding your gears?
I don't believe I've talked about this in the past, but I could be wrong because, as Cole knows, I say the same things over and over again
You have the gift of yep.
all the time. But when I'm at the grocery store and the self-checkout thing tells me to scan an item and then place it in the bag, I think, yeah, I know. Ain't my first rodeo. You know what I mean? Right?
What's the grind my gears?
Isn't that so annoying, though? Please scan your item and then place it in the bag.
You just don't like being told what to do.
No, I hate
I think
it.
you need to dig deeper into
Kind
that,
of
like
the problem with
psychologically.
authority.
Yeah, there's a bigger problem at hand here.
Is that not annoying, though?
It's annoying to me. It's annoying when you've scanned an item, placed it in the bag, and it's like, take that out of the bag. What are you doing?
Yeah.
we
you
did not
animal.
register. Yeah, exactly. We did not register what you just scanned. Take it out and put it back in. So you're like, okay. And you grab your little bag of pretzels and you like hover it over the weighing thing for
And
a
then
second.
it
Then you
thinks
put
for
it
a
back.
second,
Yeah,
and
and you
then
put it back down. It's like, God, thank you. But your problem is just the fact that it's telling you to put it in the bag.
Yeah, that's a hilarious thing to tell someone to do when they've walked up to a self-checkout machine.
But
This is
here's-
pretty
I mean, in defense of the self-checkout machine,
pretty obvious.
I can't believe that we're in defense of a self-checkout machine. This is our life come
Why
to.
are you defending it?
Case just goes,
Whose side
yeah.
are you on?
I'm on the side of the grocery store a little. You know why?
Are you
The machine?
Are you
On the
being
machine.
paid by Big Grocery?
I'm on Big Machine right now because you bring your grocery bag from the store, right? From the home
yeah.
to the
From the
store.
home.
I usually just put the grocery bag in the cart, right? And then I take my cheese stick, I scan it, put it right in the grocery bag.
One cheese stick.
Because why?
bag.
Why would I?
bag.
Why would I want to put it in like the bagging area just to move the bag into the cart? That would be my natural progression. So it has to tell me, hey,
You need to weigh it.
you need to weigh it. The bigger problem is why are people stealing cheese sticks?
It needs to stop.
It needs to stop.
Yeah. It's an
Also,
epidemic.
I'm curious these people that don't just walk out of the store and leave. They go to the self-checkout and they're like, I don't want to pay for all of it. No, this orange, I'm not paying for this orange. I will pay for the butter and the bread, but not the orange. Do you see
Yeah,
the problem
right.
there? Do you think that's a common
People
thing?
are like skimming
know.
produce.
Skimming produce.
I do think it's very annoying in self-checkouts to have to like look up the item that you're trying
Yeah.
to.
And if
Oh,
it
God,
gives you
it's
the
true.
organic option or the non-organic one,
You don't pick the
Yeah,
organic.
you don't know which one you picked. It's
Yeah.
like,
Guys, you can't say that on the air. You're admitting to crime.
it's not
It's not crime.
It is crime.
What if I did grab the not organic one? I probably did.
Then it's perfectly lawful.
Yeah, like you brought that up because you're following the law.
So
I love following the
anyway,
law.
O'Sullivan Law.
This is insane, guys. I am rocked. And you guys thought it was bad when I was sampling grapes from the grape section?
Oh, you got to do that.
Thank you.
That's
Do
required.
you sample the grapes?
No, because I think about if other people have touched them, and then
Morgan?
I get weird about it.
Well,
Morgan
you don't
doesn't
have to
think we should be
fondle the whole
sampling.
bag of grapes in order to just like pluck one and see.
But you try the grapes.
You got to try.
She
it.
brought up the point though. Why do you try the grapes but you don't try the blueberries or the raspberries?
Oh, because
Because it's easier to tell that you've
the grapes are open.
opened it.
So that's my argument that it's socially
Convenience.
acceptable to steal a grape because there's already an open bag and
a-
everyone's stealing the
They
grapes.
leave it open for that
Again,
reason.
Tommy, this is coming back
Why
to your
else
whole.
would it be
Why
open,
would we
Cole?
outlaw it? Everybody's doing it anyway. It's now legal.
What's
You
dirty
don't
about
Cole
it?
doesn't sample the grapes.
They need to be washed.
We're grape samplers.
I am not.
You're not. Morgan, my wife, not a grape
Oh,
sampler.
what? Washing the grapes?
Do you wash your fruit?
Yes. Every time I eat it.
Case, you gotta be washing your fruit, man.
Okay, that's absurd. Oh, I agree with you on that. That's you gotta wash. You're allowed one grape
I
unwashed.
wish, guys. I wish it was the worst
And it's
thing
the one at the
happening.
grocery store.
Yes.
I wish it was the worst thing happening to me.
See, this is what I was
I'm gonna-
saying about
I'm gonna-
Land Rover drivers last
I'm
week.
gonna put like I'm gonna put
They're
a couple
dirty.
whiskey next to a grape, and I'll be like, "Phew, you know, I can drink this poison, but God forbid I not rinse off under cold water. Like,
Okay, but alcohol is different than germs.
because I run tap water over a grape, all of a sudden it's clean.
That's
Yes!
a fair point. It does
Well-
feel kind of arbitrary.
Here's the weird thing.
It's
about
one- psychological
It's one thing
thing.
if you're like if you've got lettuce and you're like scrubbing the lettuce like a pro
but
or whatever.
no,
I don't
Like a
really
pro.
eat. I don't
Listen,
eat lettuce, so I don't know.
There's potentially a lot of pesticides on those grapes. You got to clean them before you eat them.
But
By running
but
a
makes
little bit of
good-
tap water
That's
over
actually a good point. Does that actually clean anything, or is it
You
just,
just
for
got
our
it
brain?
wet. Is all you did.
Yeah, but there's something about a wet grape.
I love
yeah,
a
sure.
wet
You know?
grape.
So crispy grapes for one.
How do you wash
Yeah,
your
a wet
blueberries?
crispy
though?
grape.
Your
Same deal.
blueberries is a problem.
pretty incredible.
You put them in your hand and then wash
No,
them?
I like shake the thing around.
Yeah, but then it just drips water for the next 25
Yeah, but
years.
no, well, you have a towel
true, it
usually
does.
on hand.
I have a towel, then I got to put the towel under the thing in the
Yeah.
fridge, and then I got a
Exactly.
fridge towel. My last point about the grapes, which is a good point you bring up, is I am team rinsed grapes.
And all fruit.
always.
All
All
fruit.
fruit and even some veggies.
And all vegetables
all
also.
veggies. Do you wash your veggies?
I don't need. Well, I don't really cook, so.
You were about to say I don't eat veggies.
You know, I'll have like so. Actually,
Here we go.
I do. I'll make like asparagus or Brussels sprouts or broccoli. I rinse those.
I rinse everything except for
know.
the dirty grapes that everybody touches. I'll just eat one of those.
That doesn't make any
It is.
sense.
It is pure hypocrisy, and that is
That's Carish as a whole.
human beings.
There you guys go. So let us know in the comments if you made it this far.
Grape, clearly.
Grape is obviously.
Yeah.
What you gotta drop in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
And you gotta tell Case that he is insane.
For not running tap water over grapes.
What's
to
gonna-
cleanse it?
What's gonna kill him first, the unwashed grapes or the paragliding?
Oof. He's probably gonna eat an unwashed grape and then
Probably neither.
crash.
The
Let's be
race to
honest.
the
Please
death.
don't crash. Case is going paragliding later, and we don't want him to die.
No, I
Yeah.
want him to crash a little.
I don't. Thomas.
A little.
You want him to learn a lesson?
We've had so many discussions about this. He needs to learn. The
You need to be
lesson.
careful about saying I want him to crash a little.
The key is a little. I don't want him to crash a lot.
All right, heard.
just a little. Well,
Bye.
Bye.
no, but bye.